Okay, here we are again. So we've got 3 wooden pieces left: the main box, the lid, and the lockdown bar brace. The main box I've taken out of the clamps, obviously, and sanded away any glue squeeze out, sanded all of the panels flush if any of those were misaligned, and we have a nice clean box ready to go. But let's deal with the lockdown bar brace first. Before we do that, you will need your lockdown bar package. You're going to need a screwdriver. You are going to need a few screws, which should be in the packaging. And yeah, really that's it. Okay. So let's see what we've got in here for our brace. So these are 3D printed parts, so be careful with them. So the lockdown bar brace comes in 2 pieces. So here's our 2 pieces. And we check inside the bubble wrap, nothing else in there. And you go, oh God, it's 2 pieces. How do we get them stuck back together? Well, inside of the plunger assembly bag are 2 little pegs. And we're going to use those pegs to put our lockdown bar brace together. So we're going to cut this open. And there's a Ziploc bag inside of here. We'll check anything else in here. Nope. We'll put that in the appropriate spot. We'll pull out a little baggie that says plunger. We'll have some metal parts, springs, screws, and then we'll have the various pieces of the plunger. Those we can put in there for now. Inside of the screw bag, what we want are 2 little 3D printed pegs. Those pegs. We'll put everything else back in the bag. Be careful not to lose anything. And we'll put that stuff in here. So there's 2 little holes right here. We'll put a peg in there, and we'll put the other peg. And you might encounter this. So one of the pegs still has a little bit of flashing on it. I'm gonna cheat. And I'm just gonna grind that off. I'm sure that was probably really loud, and I apologize for that. There we go. I recommend super gluing those in and then applying a little bit of super glue very lightly to maybe a couple of drops inside the holes here and to the edge here. You don't want to get sloppy with it because super glue obviously cures very, very fast, and you want this lockdown bar to be nice and clean. You put it together, it slides together just like that. Cool. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our 3/4 inch skinny piece of plywood and we're going to set it in here. This is what stiffens up the lockdown bar so that you can bang on it without it breaking. Now you'll see on here that there are some holes. Now this piece of wood here will come to you pre-drilled, so that's why I say you only need a screwdriver. But what we're going to do is we're going to line up this piece of wood, and we want to line it up with the edges here. We don't want it to go into this channel because it will stop it from sitting on the edge here. So we just want to line it up. And if you're afraid of it moving, like I am, tear you off a little piece of tape. And you can just tape it down. That way nothing goes anywhere. Cool. Let me see. So we can go through here, and I'm just going to drill a couple of screw holes. We'll put one here. We don't want to drill all the way through that. We'll put another one. Right there. Looking good. I like it. I like it a lot. Awesome. And we'll grab a couple of screws. I'll put one in there, another one in there. We're going to check the edge here to make sure that everything it's not encroaching into the channel there. Cool. We'll tighten that down. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give that a good solid push. Even if I have to put my belly into it, I'm going to give it a push to close up this gap right here. So that way when I screw this down, it screws down nice and tight. And if I turn it over, no gap. Sweet. That's exactly what we want to see. Now, obviously, this thing will move even less the more screws that you put in it. But it should be awesome. We'll give that a little wipe off there. Oops, got a little glue residue. Nothing that some Goo Gone won't fix, but we're not worried about that right now. Cool. So now we can give it a test fit. Hey, look at that. Starting to look like a pinball machine. I'm getting excited. Cool. So that's our lockdown bar done. So once you have the bar on there, the bar is what stops the lid from sliding off. Without it, the lid just kind of slides around. Put your bar on there, put the back side of your lid in first, drop that down and you give it a little push and everything flushes up real nice. And then you're good to go. All right, cool. I like it. Awesome sauce. So we can put those two pieces away now. The next thing that we have to deal with is our plunger. So we'll go ahead and pull our pieces out. So here we'll have the front of the plunger, the back of the plunger pull knob, and this is the plunger, you can call it the button pusher. How this thing works, and it's a very cool design. And you'll see in the that I will credit the person who designed this. I'm very, very thankful. But how this works is this button is meant to fit inside of here. So you can screw this on, put your button in there, and you'll put some hot glue all around. This is what I recommend. You can super glue it if you want, but you'll never be able to take it apart again, so I recommend hot glue would work better. And what will happen is when you pull the pull rod, the plunger, this little thing will come back and it will push this button, thus activating your plunger. Now, I'm not going to use this assembly or this button here. Mainly because I've got one that's already done. It's a little messy looking, but that's okay. It's on the inside of the cab, but it's done. You've got so please attach your wire to your button before you put it in here, and it comes out of the bottom. So I'll show you how this works. So first things first, we're going to take our, I guess that's your plunger rod, and you'll put it through here, And you'll notice that this carriage bolt here has a square head. There's a square recess in here that's made to fit that. So you give it a little rotation and it'll lock in there, and then it's steady. You'll put your spring on there, and then you're going to take this, put it right through there. Cool. Now, take your whole plunger rod, you can compress that a little bit to get it to fit, and it'll go through the hole there. Put on your front piece, and then you can put on your pull knob. Wapala. And actually, this one is too long. This one was for a different project. Oops. Let me back that train up real quick, mama. That wasn't my fault. That's the missus's fault. She was the one in charge of packing this stuff. Let me grab the appropriately sized one. My wife is now fired. Let's make sure she got everything right. Yes. So you can see the difference there. So we'll put that one away. Now we will go back through here. There we go. We'll put on our spring. Everything goes in there like that. We've got our button. It's already hot glued in place. We'll put on our front plate, and we'll screw our knob onto here. And you can hold on to the back end of this and really twist the knob on there. Not too hard, but hard enough that it's all the way on there. And you can see that you pull this back and it actuates the button there. Very simple. Thank you very much to the person that designed this very nice Creative Commons virtual pinball plunger. Thank you. And of course, I'm happy to be able to print it out for all of you who might not have access to a 3D printer. So we'll put our little screws in there. I forgot that those need to go in there first. So we'll put those on there. We've got little nuts. The nuts go on here. Screw those on. Cool. And then what we can do is we can grab our pliers, like I mentioned before, and our screwdriver, and we can snug things up. We'll make sure that our plunger is straight on the face of it. All right. Do not over tighten or you risk cracking the 3D printing. It is still plastic after all. All right, so we've got that solidly attached. It's looking good. It's looking a little bit crooked, but you guys get the point. All right, we'll twist that on there. Cool. All right, cool. So now we've got a plunger. And if you want this plunger to have lighter feel and less resistance, the only thing that you have to do is the plunger rod hole in the wood, just use the next size up drill bit. the more that you wallow out that hole, the looser that this becomes. But I've found that, quite honestly, the more that you play with it, you just play game after game, this actually loosens up and becomes much smoother. So I really wouldn't worry about that. So we've got our plunger in here. Very, very cool. The next thing that we need to do is let's go ahead and, I would say, let's put our guts in here. So this is straight out of Amazon. It's an EG Starts control board. I know it kind of looks like a spider, right? But we're just gonna drill that right into the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my drill again. I've already got these little feet on here. I highly recommend getting some of those. And we'll just make some little holes, not all the way through. Just enough for our screws. And I might not even use all of the screws. All right, cool. We'll take that out. We get rid of all of the dusty dust. Cool. We've got a few more screws that we can use. We'll screw that in there. That's in there nice and tight. And we'll take this one. We'll put that over there. We'll screw that in there. Cool. All right. And why not? We'll put this in there. We'll get that screwed down. Cool. So now our control board's in there. What else do we got to do? Oh yeah. Let's put some buttons in here. So I like to use green, white, and red for my start, my coin up button, and then my exit table button. If you're playing FX or FX3, the red button I've set to not exit the table, but to actually change views. And then we'll have flipper and MagnaSave over here. And we'll do flipper and MagnaSave there. And let's do another red button for an exterior launch ball button if you don't want to use the plunger. Or you can make it whatever you want since you already have a plunger button. Why is my brain cross-threading these? Okay, come on, get on there. There we go. As you can see, once you glue this thing together, like, most of the work is done. The rest of it is super easy. And it doesn't require like expensive joinery or anything like that. It's literally just some glue and some clamps. As long as you've got a flat surface to work on, it's good to go. Now, depending on your your buttons and the way that they attach that you use, you might find that it's easier to put your buttons in first before you put your rails on. Either way works. It's all got to go in there, right? We'll put those in there. Cool. Now, all of our buttons are in there. Cool. And we'll just hook up some buttons. Now, this is up to you how you decide to program this together. I have a Steam profile that is specifically made for the EG starts and playing Pinball FX3. So if you want that, you can use that. Although you might have your own way to set up your controller, or you might just use something different than an EG starts, which, as you can see, there's plenty of room for whatever you want to put in here. Cleveland Software Designs, a virtual pin controller. What else is out there? Arnaz's stuff. Zeb's boards. I don't know if Zeb's board stuff will fit in here, but I'm sure that it will. All of that stuff is roughly the same size. Oh, we'll pull our plunger out of the way so that we can get to that one. Cool, and we'll just put it under there. That works just fine. Cool. All right. Now, the next thing that we need to do, we've got our lockdown bar. Look at that. We're almost done, except for my coin button is upside down. We'll rotate that over right side up. There we go. That's better. Put our lockdown bar on here, and we've got our lid that fits in there. So, and you go, oh, that's cool. Yay. But it's not quite there yet. Double stick tape and our side rails. So let's get some clean edges to work on. No, we don't need that. And it really doesn't require a lot of this. So how I'm going to do this is we're going to put some on like that. Doesn't have to be super pretty. But we're basically just going to line the rim of this with double stick tape. And if you go over the edge, not to worry. You can bend it down over the edge. In this case, because you want the side rails to be secure, it doesn't really matter if you have a little bit extra. And I'll put some with some overhang here just so you can see what I'm talking about. And we'll go ahead and do the back edge as well. I'll put a little here. Put a little bit more at the halfway there. Now on other ones that I've built for maximum security, I have just run an entire length of tape on the sides and the back. But I'm trying to do this for expediency. And if you want, you can also put a little bit here as well. Right here on the side. You do that and those side rails are not going anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this since I just put some right below it. We don't want to double up that tape because then our side rails won't fit on properly. There we go. Cool. And we're going to try to peel our coatings off of our side rails. I don't have fingernails, so this might take just a moment. I'm so excited for League to be starting up tomorrow. I want you guys to go and check out the website, trytotilt.com. You can find all the league information there. You can find a link to my coffee store if you want to make a donation, or even better, if you want to pick up one of these vPin controllers for yourself. So that way you'll have something better to play in League than just a keyboard. Although I've had my scores beat up pretty badly by people with keyboards. So, so now we're going to take our side rails. We're going to attach those here. So I like to put the back on first and then just kind of lay it down nice and flush. We'll give that a press and that ain't going nowhere. Same thing here. There we go. Nice and tight. We'll butt this up to against the back. We'll put that on. Oh, damn it, I didn't quite get it butted up against there. Might be too tight a fit now. Yep. I messed it up. Now I got to take it off. See if I can take it off without breaking it. Okay. Let's make sure that I get that a little tighter. Up against there. There we go. Give it a squeeze. Damn, Tilt. Do you believe in tolerances? There we go. All right. It is on there tight like a tiger. Look at that. Now with the side rails on, putting this on gets really, really tight. So you might actually have to pull these out ever so slightly. Don't manhandle it. So get one side on first and then just kind of push and finagle the other side to go on there. It is meant to go on there tight so that when you bang on it, if you should put a control board that has an accelerometer on there, when you bang on there, see, nothing rattles. It's meant to be on there nice and tight. Look at that. We're almost done, guys. And we'll put that in there. The lid fits in there. Now, the only thing that you have to do is special order your vinyl wrap or paint it. Hopefully you would paint this before you put your buttons and stuff like that, that in there. But you know what I'm saying. But I mean, look at this. Isn't that cool? That's pretty awesome. So how do we get into it now that everything fits so tightly together? Well, I recommend removing your lock bar first, giving it a little wiggle, and then you can get the lid out. And then you have access to the top. I wonder if this thing actually works. Wouldn't it be cool if it just like lit right up as soon as I plugged it in? Cool. All right, here we go. Come on, baby, you can do it. Nothing rattles, nothing feels wonky. It's good to go. I would recommend, you know those, I forget what they're called, but they come in rolls. You can buy them at Walmart. It's like a squishy kind of mesh that you put inside your kitchen cabinets. You know what I'm talking about. Like if you want to use some spray adhesive and put that on the bottom here, this thing would not move. And the plunger is light enough weight that if it wasn't on this slick surface of my worktop, you could actually just actuate this with one finger. But this, and I put my hands on the lock bar and it's, I can be like, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Just like I normally do because I'm trying to tilt and tilting is what I do. And it will stand up to it. There you go. You built a Tilt Mod vPin controller. Congratulations. Click the link in the description for my coffee store. You can go there. You can pick up a flat pack like this. You can build it yourself. If I wasn't filming, I could probably have this done minus the hour or so for the glue to set. I could probably have this done in 30 minutes. It really doesn't take long, but it's called a Tilt Mod because you can make it yours. Look at this blank canvas. Look at what you could do with this. That's awesome. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Hit me up in Discord or on Coffee or any of my socials. My name is Chris. You can call me Tilt, and all you have to do is type in trytotilt.com, and you will find everything you need. So have a great evening, everybody. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Peace.